So I was scrolling through Reddit as I always do, and just looking, what people basically talking about, what maybe there's something new or interesting happening in hair loss, world. And I stumbled across this post of one guy who started finasteride and minoxidil, and in 14 months, it's like transformation. Like what? Some people cannot get these results with the transplant, and he regrew everything, motherfucker, with the with the medications. Like, just look at this. Just look, he is literally Norwood 6. Granted, he had some, hair to begin with, but super miniaturized, Like, most people just gonna give up at this point and like, yeah, whatever, I'm like the only transplant, or, move on, shave your head, move on with your life. However, in this case, it's clearly not the case. And to be honest, I still finding it kind of difficult to believe. However, I must say this is not the first case I've seen of such a dramatic regrowth. Anyway, stop waffling, let's go into the pictures. Just like, I literally want to start from that crown, like, what the fuck? Like, seriously, what the hell is going on? Like, it was almost slick bald. And now, not just the whorl, it's like, it's just so much density. What the hell? It's like one of those people who is hyper responder to medications. Of course, that being said, it's not going to be a usual thing. Not everyone's going to be such a hyper responder to medications. However, the reason I'm even doing this video is just to kind of give you some food for thought. You never know if you're going to be the one, hyper responder. How do you know? You will never know until you actually try. Not to mention, a lot of people are actually scared of even trying, this, finasteride or even minoxidil. It's like, oh, you know what, I'm already slick bald, it's too late for me. Like, is it? Just like, look at this. Like, look at this and tell me it's too late. And the thing is, I've noticed that people usually with a super high, like a Norwood level, like this guy, Norwood 6, even if they're hyper responders, it's pretty much impossible to regrow hairline. Hairline is just almost never going back. I've seen some cases when the hairline is coming back with the medications, but these individuals usually, like, they lost their hairline like fairly recently. So I would say in the last maybe 2 to 3 years, if they started losing, maybe in this case, there is chance it can come back, but I'm pretty sure this guy started like from a classical recession of the hairline, going to Norwood 3, and then slowly over the years progressing toward Norwood 6. But man, like, look at this freaking density. Like, I swear I cannot, let's zoom in a little bit. I cannot believe my eyes. It's like, I can't believe this is even possible. Like, it's okay, it's like I said, this is really rare, but look at that. Of course, the hairline, like I mentioned, is doesn't exist still, but whole crown and like mid scalp. To be honest, mid scalp is fine, but crown, like, it's mind blowing. Look how much density, the thickness, like all of this thin miniaturized hair that were like pretty much on the way out already. They thicken up to such extent that they look like a proper thick, terminal hair that is able to nicely cover, the balding area to the point that it doesn't look like this guy even have hair loss. If you're looking from the crown, from the top view, like freaking crown. Of course, I have to mention that he is kind of combing his hair on the side, so this further reinforces the density or illusion of density. But that's not the point. The point is, you never know if you're gonna be one of those. And despite the fact that it doesn't happen as often as we would like, however, I would like to show actually quite a few others. I've stumbled across not one, not two, but like quite a bit. Like, for example, this guy, progress photos, minoxidil 12 months and finasteride only 6 months. So this was his starting position, of course, diffuse thinner. Diffuse thinner, so he was roughly Norwood 3 in terms of, like his hairline, he like lost it and was already slick bald. So it's been quite a while, but he's diffuse thinning all over the scalp in towards like a Norwood 5, probably even going towards Norwood 6, zone. However, after 6 months of finasteride and 12 months of minoxidil, boom. Okay, you might say, but Rolandas, the picture is not the same quality, it's not done with the flash and it's a little bit darker. Yes, so what? Still, look at that. Like, I mean, would you be happy with this? I don't know, I would. I mean, I freaking needed to get 2 transplants, pay God knows how much money, and you know, risking, you know, the transplant risking failure basically to get something like this guy have just with the medication. And you know, I tried medication. That's why the number one reason when you start medication is basically to see how well you're gonna do before you're going for a transplant. Too many people making this mistake, they're going for a transplant and after that they start medication. What if you would be a hyper-responder like this guy? So now effectively, when you went to the transplant, you destroyed all of this hair, you know, with incisions or, you know, implanter pens, piercing the skin all the way down the root of the hair follicles, and you literally destroyed them and implanted all on top of them. Transplant hair. So basically you just lost the potential. That's why it's super important to try it for yourself. Not just you don't know. You need to find out whether you're gonna respond well to medication. You need to find out whether you're not gonna have any side effects for the medication, and that's gonna determine the plan of your surgery. What if you're gonna regrow everything? You can just have a small tiny procedure on the hairline. Job's done. Move on with life. Another case, 5 months, 1 milligram oral finasteride a day. Very happy with the results so far. Like, don't need to tell. Again, crown. Like, look, mid-scalp, of course, hairline, again, like I said, Norwood 3, I don't think he regrew anything. He's like slightly moved, you know, his head tilted down a bit more. But again, crown, look, so many miniaturized hair that like are so thin, boom, thick terminal hair. And it's just what? 5 months. Would you be happy if you would be like this guy, avoiding any transplant at all? Next, Finasteride Minoxidil derma rolling, 4-month result, crown and back. So of course, so these pictures are not done the best way, meaning they used like flash and everything, but still it's pretty dramatic visible difference. Crown before, I guess that's still, oh, hold on, that looks, actually no, this is before. This looks already so much more hair. Just look at the whorl. The hairs itself, they're really thin and severely miniaturized to the point that they're like almost transparent. And here, all of these hairs, they thicken up, so more hair regrew and looks so much better. Again, crown, if this guy, by the way, will stop medications, he'll progress to Norwood 6, likely Norwood 7, easily. You can see clearly the outline over here. So he's doing his best and he's really doing a good job of trying to keep as much hair as possible, because once this is lost, game over. I mean, you're gonna have some hair for transplant, but just to rebuild all of this, it can easily take 3,000-4,000 grafts like that. That's what they call, you know, the crown is a black hole for grafts. You can just put, just because of the whorl and this pattern of the hair growth direction, it's just so difficult to create illusion of density. So you have to keep as much as you can of your native hair if you want to have a long-term success. Next, this guy is like one of my favorites. He has only frontal no recession, and we don't know his crown, and he actually didn't show again in the perfect way, but just look at that. He's before, and I started a simple topical minoxidil foam 5% and Finasteride 1 milligram a day treatment for 2 years. So pretty standard, you know, 2 FDA approved drugs. Boom. This is before, boom. Okay, let me ask you this. Would you be happy to have this kind of result? Let's not mention that, oh, his hair is much longer, he's combing on the side, we don't really see the hairline. It doesn't matter. Would you be happy to be like this or like that? And if some of you still in doubt and say, oh, he just grew his hair long, no. These hair are so thin, they cannot physically grow longer. This is how hair miniaturization works through DHT. DHT is attacking hair follicle. The hair follicle is miniaturizing, so it grows less. So it grows, their maximum like a length gonna be much shorter, much smaller, and in diameter gonna be much thinner. So they are looking really, really thin. This is what happened to him. The whole frontal third, basically. Norwood like a 3A. I don't know how his crown looks like, but from this, Norwood 3A. Maybe even Norwood 4A. but the whole frontal is kind of gone. Boom. No need even a transplant. Like, I know, I would be happy like this. I would not do any transplant, just move on. It's like, it's crazy. Few more examples I found on the Facebook group, Hairless Conquers. It's one of my favorites, to be honest. Like, look at them. So many people were speculating, oh, this is a transplant. And he blew everyone away, saying that no, it's just, you know, finasteride. And if I recall, I'm not sure if he's using minoxidil, most likely as well. But look at that freaking black hole. You know, slick bald crown, pretty much. Boom, regrew quite a bit. It's still, there is some, you know, obviously thinning is happening, but it's not like a bald spot. Not to mention mid-scalp like closed, the crown like a shrink dramatically. And the whole frontal third as well thicken up to the point that he looks like he's just a Norwood 3V, but he was Norwood 5V. Huge crown, bridge already miniaturizing as well, and frontal forelock still, you know, intact. But from 5V to 3V, wow, 10 months. So now he can just, if he still wants, he can get just a few grafts in the crown, slightly, you know, rebuild those corners, maybe 1,000, 1,500 grafts. Job's done. Before that, he would need how much? Maybe 4,000, 5,000 grafts, and even more. Just that crown. You know, it's crazy. Another one, again from Facebook group. This guy, again, pop pictures not the best quality, but pretty much the same similar situation. Or with 5V, crown is just massive. The bridges as well closing as some, you know, so-called the horn like I had as well. But look at that. It just, I don't know after how long it was, something roughly after a year. Again, Finasteride Minoxidil, standard things. His crown thicken up to the point that it doesn't look like a bald spot. There's still some thinning, but mid-scalp as well. Even the frontal fur, like, it's just so much thicker. And again, the same thing. Slight, small procedure, you know, corners a little bit in the crown. Boom, all set. This is a interesting case. This person is actually again in the group, and he's actually transitioning from male to female. So the person is obviously transgender, started hormone replacement therapy alongside finasteride, minoxidil, microneedling, and low laser light therapy. How is it? Anyways, so finasteride, minoxidil, LLT, and also microneedling. So the baseline, again, slick bolt Norwood 6, like literally slick bolt. And boom, after I think something like 1 year, maybe even less. Of course, it's a bit more extreme case. It's not just finasteride, minoxidil, you know, adding some estrogen might help. But the point of this is that it just proves the hair follicles are not dead. They're there under the skin, even if you are a slick bald. Meaning, if you're gonna be a hyper responder, you can regrow some hair. So again, don't take this, you know, as a general rule for everyone. You know, it's an extreme case. However, the point being, you never know how you're gonna respond to medications. So, you never know. So you know what? Definitely don't jump into the surgery. Number one thing you should try, basically as best as you can, to maintain a regrow hair. Meaning there's finasteride, there's minoxidil, there is low laser light therapy, there's a microneedling, there are topicals like topical anti-androgens. I'm not going to be mentioning, you know, things like REO, pyrilutamide, that are not, you know, approved and they're still in research, although REO actually been abandoned and God knows why. So definitely, I'm not suggesting that. But there are things like topical estrogens, like alpha-tridiol. You can also try, you know, fluridil. These drugs are already available, especially in Europe, in central countries, but I'm pretty sure you can find a way to buy them if you want to try, you know, these topicals. They're not as potent, so they're not going to be nearly as good as finasteride and minoxidil. However, they are stacking up on top of finasteride and minoxidil and microneedling and LLT. So if you just tackle like from as many, you know, points as possible your hair loss and see how it goes, you never know, maybe you're going to be one of those success stories. So try your best, try everything you can. You can also try, you know, things like PRP, although not really a big fan of it. And in general, I've actually done quite a while back, you know, actually after my first transplant, a video on analyzing basically all the treatments that are currently available on the market. So I'm gonna put the link in the description below as well, somewhere over here, to check out this video for more information. So yeah, try your best with the medications, and please don't rush into the hair transplant because you can get a bad result more likely than not, believe it or not, because most people, when they're presenting their transplants, and you see on the forums online, on the videos, YouTube, they're actually kind of lying to you. But this is subject for another video. Make sure to stay tuned for that. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already for more educational content on hair loss and hair transplants, and of course for this upcoming interesting video, and more information about myself on my 2 hair transplants, my oral minoxidil journey, etc. So yeah, stay tuned. And actually I'll put this video over here that I was discussing basically all the treatments that are available currently on the market. Check it out, click here. Don't rush into surgery.